All right. So Will was nice enough to say that I could use his account as an example. This is similar to what your computer will look like once you have logged in and opened up Chrome. First, you're going to go to Google Classroom. So the easiest way to do that without a bookmark is to go over to the grid and then select Classroom. But it looks like Will has bookmarked it, which is a great idea. And if you haven't done that, now would be a good time to do it. So here's our class. If you haven't bookmarked it, you can hit the blue star and add a bookmark. You are going to then click the sign in option here because this is what we're doing today. We're signing up for a Goodreads account. So pretty much anytime we create new accounts on websites and things, and also um, login accounts you already have, we're going to, if there is a sign in with Google option, you are always going to use that because that is what our ABSchools accounts are. They are Google accounts. That makes it much easier. So you're going to skip this and just click this gray sign in with Google option. It will then take you to the familiar screen where you should be able to just select your email, and then it's going to ask you to sign up. So for here, it might put in your name automatically. You're welcome to put in any nicknames that you have. And we're also going to delete your last name and just use your last initial. If you share a first name and last initial with somebody, you can do two initials, but they don't really need your last name. That's a little bit of an overshare. So we're just going to leave it as your preferred first name, last initial, your ABSchools email address, which is probably already in there. And then you're not really creating a password. You are going to use the ABSchools password that you already have. So just make sure you type it in exactly as it is when you log into your computer. Click next. It might take you to the screen because it thinks you're a robot. And so we have to put in the password again. I am not a robot. It might have you do these annoying little tests where you have to, this one says all the parking meters. Hopefully this is all it will ask me to do. And I'll say sign up. There we go. So now I'm in. If it prompts you to save, definitely save. It will make it easier in the future. We're going to skip this part. You're going to find friends a different way later on once we have a group. So you're just going to go to skip this step. And if you want to set a reading goal right off the bat, you're welcome to. We'll talk more about reading goals later. So this isn't something you need to have, but if right off the bat you know by the end of December you want to read 10 books, great, put in the number 10. But for now I'm going to skip it because Will can do this on his own later. It's then going to ask you to select your favorite genres or types of books. The only tricky part about this is that these are mostly genres meant for adults. And so you definitely want to select children's because that's going to give you most of your middle grade children's books. Sorry about my dog barking. Young adult if you're interested in young adult. And that's probably it because all of these other ones, like historical fiction, even if you love historical fiction, you select that and it's going to give you adult historical fiction. So stick with those two for now, and then I'll show you how it's going to start giving you really good recommendations. So based on that, it's going to say, hey, have you read any of these popular children's and young adult books? And so if you want, you can just go through and mark any of the ones that you've read before by rating them. And so if you've read Harry Potter, great. This is the first book in Harry Potter. What did you think of it? 5 stars is it was amazing, really liked it, all the way down to did not like it. And so the more that you can do this, it asks you to rate 20 or more, and it'll start giving you recommendations. The more you can do that, the better. And so you can scroll through. I think it'll keep auto-populating more examples as you fill them out. The more you can do, the better. If you haven't read one of these books, but you're like, oh, that looks kind of interesting, like this James Patterson book. I've never read Alley Cross. Maybe that sounds really good to me, especially based on this description. You can save it by clicking Want to Read, and it'll add it to a Want to Read book